Would say early in the fight, Canelo, and earlier in his career, Canelo, but he hasn't been that kind of fighter in recent years.
It's going to be interesting, I'll tell you that.
What do you think?
I don't know. You know, it's a big jump to go from 54, which was a step up from 47, right?
Now
so it
he's
goes to
going to
54, and now he's going to
68?
68. That's so much weight.
A lot of weight.
Do you think Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez?
Yeah, I think he can win.
Okay.
I don't know if he's going to win, but I think he can win.
Max Kellerman has joined Joe Rogan to drop a shocking prediction for the super fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Kellerman shocked fans with a prediction that cuts against the grain of mainstream opinion. Known for his sharp analysis and ability to spot patterns others miss, the veteran commentator laid out why he believes this matchup could redefine both fighters' legacies and possibly crown a new pound-for-pound king. Kellerman broke down what makes this showdown so intriguing, pointing to Canelo's unmatched power and wealth of experience against the very best in the sport. Yet, he quickly shifted focus to an angle that stunned many listeners: Crawford's adaptability and ring IQ. According to Kellerman, while Canelo has dominated in recent years, it is Crawford's ability to adjust mid-fight and systematically dismantle opponents that could give him the decisive edge.
Definitely. Okay, so then a little bit of this and that between Canelo and Crawford. I'll give you a list of attributes, and then tell me who do you feel is best in that attribute. First attribute, best jab.
Crawford.
Best defense.
Crawford. Nowadays, Crawford. I would say early in the fight, Canelo, and earlier in his career, Canelo, but he hasn't been that kind of fighter in recent years. Although Crawford is also hittable. With any fighter, when you talk about their defense, the question is not, can they be hit with a shot? You take punches. Everyone, the greatest defensive fighters ever get hit. Pernell Whitaker, Willie Pep, Floyd Mayweather, they all get hit. The question is, can you hit them with combinations? And both guys are hard to hit. With the two-piece, hard to hit.
So who has the best footwork out of the two?
In terms of cutting off the ring, last fight notwithstanding, Canelo has gotten much better at cutting off the ring. But early in his career, he had a problem with that and was much more comfortable counterpunching. But overall, I have to say Crawford. If you go down the list and ask me about tactical advantages, most of them are Crawford. What Canelo has is size, and as a result, physical strength and punching power. Canelo also has a great chin. But in terms of, if you want to go skill for skill, especially the recent version of Canelo, who's had to turn into a seek and destroy guy, who had to learn as his career went on to cut off the ring and not just follow guys around. Like Lara, Trout, Floyd, he followed those guys around. He had trouble because he's really a natural counterpuncher who wants you to come to him. But in recent years at super middleweight, he's gotten really good at cutting off the ring. Again, last fight notwithstanding. So as an overall suite of skills, recent vintage, it's been Crawford.
Okay.
But Canelo also is skilled and has a larger skeleton than Crawford. No matter what they weigh, Canelo's the bigger guay.
Yeah. You briefly mentioned Canelo's power, so who, I would assume Canelo has the
You'd have to think, unless Crawford, Crawford was on a knockout streak until he moved up to junior middleweight and then failed to stop Madrimov. So, and Canelo, though he has not stopped anyone in a while, we've seen he's a real puncher at 68.
As far as speed, who has the better speed?
You would imagine Crawford, given the fact that he is the naturally smaller fighter, and I would assume he could maintain that advantage going into this fight.
Last attribute, ring IQ.
They both have sky-high ring IQs. If I have to, Crawford. If you ask me again, there's a reason that I think Crawford's the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world.
Kellerman is making a high-profile return to boxing commentary as part of Netflix's broadcast team for the Canelo vs. Crawford fight on September 13, 2025. This marks his first major on-air boxing role since being let go by ESPN in 2023. Kellerman will serve as a fight analyst alongside John Anik and Andre Ward, bringing his signature insight and decades of experience to what promises to be one of the most watched boxing events of the year. Speaking at the announcement of his return to the Netflix broadcast team for the Canelo versus Crawford fight, Kellerman described this clash as a perfect storm and explicitly stated that Crawford, more than Canelo, currently holds the pound-for-pound crown. He named Crawford the best P4P currently, while noting that Canelo Alvarez once held that honor before Bud rose to the top.
I want to bring up the first member of our broadcast team. He is the best boxing analyst in the sport. Ladies and gentlemen, Max Kellerman.
All right, so I know you guys are excited about this fight, but I don't think you understand what a big deal it is. This is a perfect storm, a perfect storm. First of all, Turki Al-Sheikh, we're lucky he happens to be a boxing fan. None of this happens if he doesn't happen to be a boxing fan. It's just none of us are here. Nick Khan, the best in the business. Dana White is the greatest combat sports promoter of my lifetime. And it's his first ever boxing promotion. So that's who's behind what you're gonna see. Do you know who's the best pound for pound fighter in the world? The most recent one. Bud Crawford. Apologies to the monster and Usyk. Bud Crawford has my vote for best pound for pound. Who was the best pound for pound before Bud? Canelo Alvarez, universally recognized that way. But it's not just these two guys, the last two best pound for pound fighters in the world. There haven't been that many. Before Canelo, who do you have? Before Canelo, Floyd or Andre Ward, Floyd Mayweather. Before, you could take the lineage back. There have only been, I don't know, 25 or 30 fighters who ever lived who you said that's the best pound for pound fighter in the world. These are two of them, the last two. And they're gonna fight in Las Vegas on September 13th. Canelo is 62-2 with 2 draws, 62-2. So was Marvin Hagler when Sugar Ray Leonard moved up to fight him, and they produced one of the biggest spectacles in the history of boxing. This fight is a perfect storm. I could not be more excited to be a part of it.
Joe Rogan has also made it clear that his lean is toward Crawford. He acknowledges Crawford's elite versatility and ring intelligence as giving him the upper hand over Canelo. Rogan believes Canelo has slowed over the years and shifted from being a dynamic combination fighter to relying more on singular, powerful shots. In contrast, he views Crawford as exceptional, one of the most fluid switch hitters since Marvin Hagler, capable of shifting between orthodox and southpaw seamlessly and maintaining effectiveness in either stance. On a recent episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, Rogan and Lampley debated Crawford's chances against Canelo with contrasting perspectives. Rogan leans toward Crawford, emphasizing his precision, ring IQ, and improved physique after bulking up significantly, which he believes could give Crawford a real shot at outboxing Alvarez. Meanwhile, Lampley offers a more nuanced take. He admires Crawford's skill and views him as a modern Sugar Ray Robinson, but ultimately expresses confidence in Canelo's power, counter-punching, and famously sturdy chin, warning that Canelo's lower body strength might neutralize Crawford's offense.
Yeah.
Shoot, what
Go
about
get away.
Crawford and Canelo?
What do you think of that?
Personally, I'm a big Crawford fan, so I'm going to lean his way. My only concern is just the size. Like, it didn't look like Terrence's power transferred in the last fight, so
With
now it's coming
Majumov?
up some more. You know what I mean?
Part of the problem with that is Majumov's really good.
Yeah,
He's really fucking
I mean,
good.
but I just think Crawford is. It's weird to say against Canelo, but I think he's the better boxer, and I think he's the guy who can make the better in-fight adjustments if Canelo doesn't kill him.
It's going to be interesting, I'll tell you that.
What do you think?
I don't know. You know, it's a big jump to go from 54, which was a step up from 47, right?
Now
so it
he's
goes to
going to
54, and now he's going to
68?
68. That's so much weight.
A lot of weight.
But Terrence is, I think he's the best switch hitter since Hagler.
They claim Hagler was my favorite. They claim he's walking around like a $190 or something, and you do know he's a wrestler.
However, in another interview, Lampley confidently backed Canelo to beat Crawford, saying that although Crawford is a phenomenal boxer, it's Canelo's size, experience, and championship pedigree that give him the advantage. Lampley regards Crawford as the most complete fighter today, but believes this fight hinges on weight and experience. He argues Canelo, naturally stronger at 168 pounds and accustomed to high-stakes bouts, possesses the physical tools to neutralize Crawford's versatility and adaptability, tipping the scale in his favor.
Canelo's smart. Absolutely, he's smart. He knows this business as well as anybody. So no, it's not surprising that Canelo learned from Floyd and has employed some of that in the retention of his career. Canelo still knows how to make fireworks when he absolutely has to make fireworks. But at the end of the day, he's a counterpuncher. He's a great defender. He has the most solid punch resistance of anybody in the sport. Nobody's ever knocked him off balance. Nobody's ever really knocked him down. There's only one official knockdown in his career, and it was because he bounced off the ropes when Jose Cotto hit him with a hard shot to the chest. And the referee employed a strict interpretation of the rules and said, oh, the ropes held you up, so that's a knockdown. He's never been put on his back by anybody. He rides horseback every morning. His legs are the strongest in the sport. You're not going to beat Canelo.
Legendary commentator Teddy Atlas believes that while Canelo Alvarez is undeniably exceptional, Terence Crawford stands out even more, so much so that he's unwilling to bet against him. Atlas credits Crawford's remarkable combination of speed, adaptability, defensive angles, and mental resilience as game changers. He highlights Crawford's razor-sharp ring intelligence and switch-hitting prowess, calling him that special guy whose mindset sets him apart. Though he acknowledges the challenges of weight disparity, Atlas insists skill and character could tip the scales in Crawford's favor.
Maybe he's a little overrated. Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds.
Canelo's really good. Really good. But I think Crawford is special. I know he hasn't fought the resume everyone wants, but you have that or you don't have that ingredient. I think he has it. Canelo's really good. He's tremendous. But could he be a tiny bit overrated? The greatness is within Crawford. It's in his desire. It's in his mind. It's in his makeup, where he came from. I know he's moving up in weight class. Can he carry it? But those intangibles, I believe that he has them.
Stephen A. Smith predicts Crawford will outpoint Canelo by decision. Speaking on the All the Smoke Fight podcast, he acknowledged Canelo's greatness and power, but believes Crawford's speed, movement, and technical boxing, particularly his ability to switch stances, will give him the edge. Smith stressed that Canelo's reliance on power punches could be his downfall, reasoning, if you can box and you can move, you can beat Canelo. He also noted Crawford's lack of acclimatization at 168 pounds, but remained confident that skill, not strength, would prevail.
Let me tell you what I think should be gone. The notion that Terence Bud Crawford should move up 3 weight classes, 21 pounds, to fight Canelo Alvarez. He's entirely too small. Jamel Charlo already proved that. Y'all remember that scene from Rocky? Remember that scene from Rocky 2? When Carl Weathers was Apollo Creed and his trainer was like, can I be honest? I saw you beat this man within an inch of his life. And he kept coming. He wouldn't go away. He's wrong for us, baby. He's wrong. Let it go. Apollo couldn't do it and lost fight number 2. Trained him for Rocky 3 and then got killed in Rocky 4 by Drago because he couldn't let it go. Bud Crawford needs to let it go. Too small.
Crawford's jaw-dropping transformation ahead of his clash with Canelo has stirred the boxing world. After a 14-pound leap from 154 to 168, Crawford now looks noticeably leaner, more muscular, and unnervingly powerful, his chiseled physique spurring fan reactions like Canelo is in trouble. While some laud the added strength as a game changer, others caution it could cost him speed or endurance. Olympic bronze medalist Omari Jones praised Crawford's hard training and proper weight gain, saying Bud trains hard and looks like he put it on the right way, giving him a real edge. That said, skeptics caution the leap may affect Crawford's speed and stamina, making this fight a high-stakes gamble for both fighters.
I just feel like Crawford, he just has the grit, and like me personally meeting Crawford several times, it's like the man is just so competitive. It's like I don't even have to say nothing to him. He'll just like, man, when we sparring, it's like his competitiveness is always gonna put him over the edge, and then he just has that like, I'm not gonna let you bully me, or his skill set. And it, I know they talk about Charlo when Charlo moved up, but I feel like it may be a little bit different for Canelo this time around, because Crawford took the moving up in weight classes serious. He did the dieting, he did the training. So I feel like when you put in work like that, it's a win-win. So.
During his appearance on the Joe Rogan Experience, Crawford unpacked the diverse elements of his training regimen. He revealed that his physical prep spans running, swimming, strength work, and plyometrics, each serving a specific purpose, from boosting cardiovascular endurance to safeguarding joint health. Crawford emphasized swimming's critical role in enhancing breathing capacity and aiding recovery, while noting he sticks to lighter weightlifting, around 20 pounds, prioritizing agility over brute strength.
Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturdays. Some of them be hard. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. You can't replace, I would say like tech sparring and like soft sparring from, a comparison to get ready for a fight. Because you fight how you spar how you fight. And if I'm in there just doing this, catch, then when the fight come and everything is full blast, full speed, I'm not gonna be able to keep up because I didn't train that way.
Right.
I can hit the bag, I can hit the mitts, all that I want, but nothing's coming back.
Right.
I'm not feeling that presence of a person pushing me, hitting me, holding me, things like that. So sparring is very important. And not saying that you have to, go hard every single time you spar, but there got to be days where, that fighter is trying to put it on you.
Veteran boxing commentator Al Bernstein lays out the keys to victory for Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford, noting that Canelo must impose his strength and fight rhythm, especially in the mid to late rounds, where physical pressure can sway the outcome. Meanwhile, Crawford can't just rely on agility. He must control distance through smart movement and ring generalship. By keeping the fight fluid and dictating the tempo, he can offset Canelo's physicality. Joe Rogan has made it abundantly clear this showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford has captivated him enough that he's determined to watch the fight live. In a recent interview, he expressed genuine anticipation for the event unfolding in real time. However, not everyone is sold on this iconic matchup.
Most fans or most people would probably say Crawford, I'm guessing, because that's a big part of how he's won, and everybody feels that and rightfully so, that the way he's figured out, he's constantly changing from lefty to righty. He's a person that alters his attack. Sometimes he's a boxer, sometimes he's walking people down. Canelo's style is more the same in most fights. He is a counterpuncher who's waiting for you to make your move so he can counterpunch you. Then when he has you in trouble, he's willing to move forward. His attack is a pretty straightforward one. On the face of it, you might say Crawford, but I think the thing about Canelo Alvarez is that he has seen every style that you can see.
Juan Manuel Marquez remains firmly unconvinced about the Canelo versus Crawford fight, bluntly stating he doesn't like it. Marquez argues that boxing has weight divisions for a reason, and the leap Crawford is attempting, from 154 pounds to 168 pounds, simply doesn't make sense. He recalls Crawford's recent bout where he appeared slow and lacking power, insisting that the additional weight will only slow him further and likely won't enhance his punching capability. For Marquez, it's less about disrespecting Crawford's talent and more about protecting the integrity of the sport's structures.
I don't like the fight because Terence Crawford is a good fighter, but in the sport of boxing, it has divisions. You know what I mean?
Right, weight classes.
Yeah, weight classes
for a reason.
Weight classes and Terence Crawford is a good fighter in super lightweight, welterweight, super welterweight, but I think more. I remember when Terence Crawford fought with Madrimov.
Yes.
He looks slow. He looks with no power. And 3 more divisions, two more divisions is, I think it's it's a tough fight for Terence Crawford, but Terence Crawford is a great fighter. He has a great defense. He has a good combination punches, but I think the weight class is no good for him.
Who do you see winning? Canelo's raw strength or Crawford's boxing IQ? Drop your pick in the comments below.